My dear YouTube, welcome back to yet another recap. One of the last recaps I'm doing of the World Chess Championship match. Today Jan Nepomniachtchi has white pieces. This is the last time Jan has white pieces in this match in classical format. Will Jan manage to keep himself composed after the disaster that happened yesterday? Liren has never been seen so confident ever before. The question is this over? Is the title in Ding's hands? Or will Jan manage to strike back? We're gonna find out right away, but mind, whatever happens in this game, the most important game of the match is going to be round 14, which is the day after tomorrow. I'm so excited! One game away from the title, from the world champion. One game away from Magnus Carlsen. Jan plays with white pieces. This is Jan's last moment to push. The game started with e4. What a surprise! Another royal Lopez. e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop b5, a6, bishop a4, knight f6, short castle, bishop e7. So far, so forth, we have already become experts of Ruy Lopez. All of us. Me, you, everybody. Everybody here is an expert of Ruy Lopez because we already saw it. Fifth time we see this position in the World Chess Championship match. Crazy, isn't it? Even Fabiano Caruana himself saw this position 5 times in the World Chess Championship match already. Not to mention the fact that Fabiano Caruana played a match himself back in 2018, was it? Bishop takes c6 was the move that was played in the game number 1. I'm reminding you the move order: d takes c6, rook e1, knight d7, d4, e takes d4, queen takes d4, blah 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 was the game number 1. Jan was pushing, he had an advantage, he didn't manage to convert, the game finished in a draw. Everybody blamed Jan Nepomniachtchi for throwing that advantage, but okay, he did win the game number 2 and then have been leading for the entire match. So today Jan played d3, e5, bishop d3, d6, and here again Jan has a choice. His second try in the Ruy Lopez was after having played c3, short castle, h3, bishop b7, and a4. That game brought Jan his first victory in Ruy Lopez, which was game number 5. Not the first victory in the match. Bishop a2, c5, bishop g5, bishop f6, bishop takes f6, Jan took on b5, a takes b5, knight d2, knight c6, bishop d5, rook takes a1, queen takes a1, and you remember that game is in our recaps, recap number 5. The reason I'm showing you all these games is for you to get a better understanding of the key ideas and nuances that happen and how Jan makes his choice to deviate from the games that he had before already in this match. It could also explain the psychology behind the moves. Another move that Jan already played in this match was a3, and this was the move that Jan played in the game 11. Knight a5, bishop a2, c5, and knight c3. Jan changed in that game with the idea to bring the knight on d5 instead of the bishop, and instead of putting the pawn on c3 and doing the standard knight d2 plan, knight f1, knight e3, blah blah blah, or knight g3 and knight f5 or knight d5. Here Jan went for the direct knight c3 and knight d5. Bishop e6, bishop g5, short castle, bishop takes f6, bishop takes f6, knight d5, g6, queen d2, etc, etc. We all remember that. This game finished in a draw. Later on Jan brought the knight on g5, took the bishop on a6. Ding had a very weird move c4, and yes, that was a recent game that they played. So this is all the history that has happened in this championship before today's fight. Today, Jan chooses c3. He repeats the line that he played in the game number 5. Short castle, h3, bishop b7, and now the novelty. Jan is the first one to deviate. He goes with bishop e3. Knight a5, logical. Bishop c2, c5. So far, Dina is playing good. Knight d2, rook e8, a4, h6. Believe it or not, but for the first time, Liren succeeds the opening with black pieces. Succeeds the Ruy Lopez, does not have a bad position in the Ruy Lopez right after the opening. Yes, it is a fact, and it's striking. And also it's scary because, well, I'm not a commentator. I'm a YouTuber. I'm allowed to be biased. I do vote for my boy Nepo. And right in this moment, I was getting worried. Not only Ding is already having a psychology on his side, but also he's finally succeeding in the opening, regardless of the fact that Ding has had way worse and less professional preparation than Yan. And we could see that by the leaked files. Yes, we saw that. Leaked files and the amount of team and the amount of work, and other players like Van Hao saying that he would doubt that Ding Liren even had anything in his files and stuff like that. Do not forget the fact that Yan Nepomniachtchi has already played the World Chess Championship match 2 years ago, well, actually 1.5 technically, against Magnus Carlsen himself, who is now a professional streamer with my fellow friends Bota sisters. Yes, here Yan makes inaccuracy. Yan should have continued with a takes b4, and now d4, the same move that happened in the game, but instead, Yan goes with direct d4, and the difference is that Yan's pieces are having less harmony. The game proceeded with e takes d4, c takes d4, c takes d4, knight d4, knight c4, knight takes c4, b takes c4, and Yan goes with f3. f3 is a question mark. It's a bad move, even though it looks the most natural and the most logical move that can happen. Yes, protect the weakness, make the barrier against the bishop, put your own bishop to the safer place. But the thing is, after bishop f8 and bishop f2, there goes a concrete blow. Typical idea d5, opening everything and saying that white is just simply way too passive, whereas black, with an open e-file, with a c-pawn, with a bishop pointing at the king, even with the barrier, black is here so much better. Also the back-seated, no, not back-seated, backfired, no, not backfired, backwards. That's the word. Backwards pawn. Thank you for reminding me. Backwards pawn. Okay, now I did mention that in this position, remember, a takes b5 would be better. Let me show you the line. A takes b5 and now d4. The same thing, the exact same thing. You know, when you want to understand what's the difference between the two similar positions with only one difference in the move order, you just need to compare them. So let's compare. Here, after c takes d4, c takes d4, e takes d4, knight takes d4, knight c4, white has an extra option of rook takes a8, deviating one of the pieces. And let's say queen takes a8, knight c4, b takes c4, now f3, bishop f8, bishop f2, d5 is not as strong as before, because after e takes d5, knight takes d5, you're gonna see what happened in the game, and you will understand yourself. Remember the position. Good? The exact same position that happened in the game. The only difference is that the A file is busy. Whose favor is that for? Well, the answer is simple. B2 is a backward pawn. And after bishop b4 that happened in the game, black has a very strong opportunity to get the advantage. You ready? It is the queen. Remember in our line, the queen was on i8. It was deviated. It was not participating in the fight. But now it can just get into the action after queen g5 and next knight f4, forcing white to give away the bishop. After bishop takes d5, bishop takes d5, black is having two bishops, strong potential for the attack on the king, open files, space with the c-pawn, and weaknesses for white on the b file. The rook is gonna attack, while white rook will only be defending. That's the key difference. So easy to judge from the sides. Unfortunately, what happens in this game is something that no one managed to understand. Neither commentators, nor press officers, not even your dear servant YouTuber Dina Belenkaya, women's grandmaster. Here Ding Liren goes with rook e5. I mean, what on earth? Everybody, literally everybody, tried to ask Ding Liren what was the reason for this move. And the answer did not reply to any of those questions. Ding Liren continued with, well, I just wanted to defend the knight with the rook. Ding, did you plan to put the rook to create the attack on the g file, or why did you put your rook so awkwardly? Well, I just wanted to defend the knight, and defend the knight, and I just wanted to defend the knight. Bro, your knight is not even attacked. Why would you need that? Rook e5 is such an illogical move, and the file is closed, and the rook is gonna get under attacks, and this is exactly what happens. And this is the move that throws the advantage. Queen g5. The craziest thing is that in this game, Liren did not even consider queen g5. Instead, he considered rook b8, which is also a logical and nice move. But he mentioned that after bishop takes d5 and bishop takes d5, the guy wasn't satisfied after queen d2. I mean, bro, you have two bishops. You have the attack on the backward pawn. You have both files for your rooks. What else do you need? You got advantage. Take it. Use it. Okay. There was one funny line here that Ding also considered, which is knight f4. It's a crazy line. Yes, it sacrifices the bishop, but there is queen g5 attacking the g2, and now some completely crazy ideas after g3 and knight h3 check and king g2, and maybe take the bishop and then continue the attack somehow. But I mean, bro, why is a piece up? Here, Ding Liren was correct. He did say it looked like a wide ocean with so many ideas and anything could happen. And I agree, sacrificing a piece for some unclear attack, even if objectively is equal, it's not a practical decision. But it doesn't mean you should play rook e5. Rook c1, logical. Rook c8, knight e2, and now another inaccuracy from Ding. This was the key moment for Jan, because Jan managed to strike back from a bad opening outcome and play brilliant chess. Ding should have continued with queen e8. It would have been better because the bishop would be open. Instead, Ding goes queen e7. Another inaccuracy. Not such a big deal, but Ding blundered. He admitted that he blundered queen d4. Very strong move with the upcoming bishop g3. And now Black has no option but to sacrifice the rook. f5. Bishop g3? Exclamation mark from Nepo. Rook takes e4, pawn takes, queen takes e4, f takes e4, and now we're in the endgame. Is this advantage enough for Jan to convert a win or not? And the answer is not simple. Well, first of all, we do need to compliment both players on giving us another educational material for exchange sacrifice. How many exchange sacrifices have we seen in this match? And how many of them have been correct? Rook fd1, knight b4, rook d7, bishop c5, king h2, bishop c6, rook c7, rook takes c7, bishop takes c7, and this position is better for white. Bishop d5, everything is not so easy. Knight will go to d3. This is gonna be an, yes, starts with O, outpost. It's gonna be an outpost. Thanks to this monstrous knight, here Black manages to hold. Is that a fortress? Knight c3 goes Jan. Computer suggests an alternative, which is a5, knight d3, rook d1. Knight cannot take the pawn because the bishop will be hanging. Bishop c6, bishop b6, claiming that this is our diagonal. Bishop d6, check, king g1. Again, knight cannot take because there is the bishop. King f7, bishop d4. And my dear Stockfish, how much is this better than the thing that happened in the game? Jan plays knight c3. Knight d3, rook c2, bishop c6, a5, same idea we saw before, to transfer the bishop to a better square, grab some diagonals, king f7, rook e2, and the most unpredictable thing happens in this game right now. Knight c1, rook e1, knight d3, rook e2, knight c1, rook e1, knight d3, rook e2, and it's a draw! It's a draw! Both players decide to lay low, not take any risk. Jan Nepomniachtchi has just lost yesterday in the most disgusting way, having thrown away a win and a title, potential title. Jan Nepomniachtchi does need to recover. As the good old boy Botvinnik once said, after every loss, draw is a great result. This is a strategy for Jan, even though he has white pieces, but it doesn't matter. In this match, colors do not matter. In this match, what matters is the nerves, the mental power. Now, Ding Liren, yes, he does have a psychological advantage on his hands, but he plays Black. And this is so far the only game where Ding Liren managed not to get a worse position out of the opening. On the other side, Liren did have an advantage. Not just he equalized, he also got an advantage. And then he threw it away with this rook e5. You remember that? Rook e5. So, a draw in the end, in this endgame, being in the defensive side with the exchange down, yet a fortress, is a good result for Ding. It does sound weird, but this draw is good for both of the players. And tomorrow, or excuse my calculation skills, the day after tomorrow, April 29, we are going to see the most decisive game in history. The game that will decide who takes the crown. Who is the next world chess champion? Jan Nepomniachtchi or Ding Liren? Let me know who you're rooting for and who is gonna be the next world champion.